Thank you, Tim, for joining us today to talk about the CTE and instructional framework package. So you are a instructor here at Royse City High School. You teach engineering and drone aviation. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So this is the second year y'all been in this package, and y'all are working on creating your own in-house curriculum through this program. So as a teacher, what has been before and after? What has been the biggest challenge that this package addresses in your mind?
So it really makes us rethink how we look at our lessons and our curriculums, and we're really kind of breaking it down into individual skills, and then we take those skills and challenges into our PLCs, and then we're able to identify what we really need to focus on, and we can align that across all of the CTE channels that we're looking at the same type of skills for specific groups.
So as a leader, and as y'all start doing this alignment, as a leader in CTE here at Royse City, what would be a goal of yours for the implementation of curriculum here, either in your class or in the department?
I think CTE in the past has always kind of been all over the place, but I think we're really looking to standardize the way that we handle each individual. We have 26 branches of our CTE department, and as we expand and we add schools, that we're able to take the lessons and the curriculum that we have, and you're able to add it into as schools add in, and it's seamless to the students, it's seamless to the parents, and it's really that they don't, if a kid transfers from school to school, they don't see a difference of what they're doing.
So y'all are growing pretty fast here, right?
Yeah.
y'all are on track, I think, in 2026 or 2027 to open another high school. So yeah. You'll have your second high school, and you're duplicating programs. So from a teacher's mindset, how does taking and creating curriculum like this, how does it create a unified approach for both high schools?
It kind of takes the ambiguity out of what we're doing. We're all working towards the same goal. We're working towards the same TEKS, all those things. So as long as we have a playbook kind of thing to work off of, and this curriculum really allows us to be able to unify it across everything that we do in CTE, and it really makes it a lot easier for a new teacher coming in or a new department opening, that we have that manuscript kind of playbook to go off of.
Yeah. So as y'all are creating this playbook and the curriculum that y'all are doing, how does that differ from a product like ICEV or any of those other types of textbooks or anything like that? They have a place. They kind of give you, we use ICV a little bit, but to me, it kind of pigeonholes you a little bit. Where this, I can take anything that we're looking to add in. Like I teach drone aviation, and I've gone through the ICV for drone aviation, but it doesn't hit all the things that we need, or the current things that are coming into the industry. So it helps us keep us more industry real, and we can take any problem and put it through these steps, through the steps that we've been going through in the last 2 years, and really kind of come out with a finished product at the end that's realistic, real time, and is industry ready. Yeah, so as you'll start looking at these, because it creates flexibility for you.
Yeah.
So, and as you start looking at this flexibility, how has this impacted student outcomes in your class that you've seen?
It really it's helped a lot. Again, from beginning of the year to where we are now, and getting more and more into it as we've gone through the year through our meetings, it really makes me look at like my lessons that I have and say, are they realistic? They are, but just how I made them better and how that I challenged the kids to be to go beyond what that superficial kind of answer. We're really project based, so I get way better end products with my kids now because we're really kind of focusing in on a skill, and we can measure that skill, and it's and the kids like it. I mean, I've seen a change in the kids of the way that they handle some of the challenges I've given them.
Yeah, so you've talked about the shift for you in that it's gone from now you're focusing on those skills and measuring all those skills from a kind of I'm just kind of moving around. So how has that changed your viewpoint on what curriculum is and what it can be?
It's definitely made me look at it more, I mean, because sometimes, when we started a new program and it's like, okay, well, you got to get what you can find, but now it's really like I can make my own. I'm not afraid to go out and just find a task, and I can sit down and go through all the things that we've met about it and really kind of look at that task and say, does it fit that mold? Does it fit that? I hear your questions all the time when I sit down and try to come up with lessons about, is it real? And, and it has like certain, standards that it has to go by. So it gives me way more freedom to be able to come up with, different things instead of having to depend on somebody else's curriculum.
Absolutely. So if you had a teacher or a group of teachers that was beginning this process and they're starting with the trainings and everything, what advice would you give them at the start of this process so that, because it can be a little mind shifty and you have to change your mind a little bit.
Yes.
But what advice would you give them as they start on this adventure?
Come in open-minded. Because it really kind of forces you, to kind of, I don't want to say forget what you've known before, but you got to really kind of be open to new thinking about, what do you want to get out of it, and it's, yes, I want to get a curriculum out of it, but I also want to be able to challenge my kids, and I want to have a good thing that it's repeatable year over year. But you just really got to be open-minded when you come in, because it is going to make you think and challenge, what you've done in the past that was good, but how do you make it better?
Absolutely. So off of that, for you, if you forecast yourself in 5 years, y'all have a lot of this work completed. How do you hope this has changed your instruction and impacted students in that 5 years?
Again, I really focus on trying to make them industry ready, whether they're going to go to college and go further in their studies, or they're going to leave from high school and go right into industry. It makes me look at, all of the lessons and say, am I doing what they need? Because every year it's going to change, because industry changes year over year. So it really kind of forces you to reflect a little bit on what we're teaching. And, my goal is that the kids, when they leave my class, and whether it's in engineering or in aviation, that they're taking that with them as they go on to college, and they can, say that they learn what they wanted to learn. They had a good foundation going into, whether it's industry, or a good foundation going into college.
Absolutely. Yeah. So $1 million question here. What have you personally taken out of being in this process and going through all these different things?
Personally, I challenge myself to be a better teacher. So I really kind of take it out and say that I want to force myself to reflect and think about it. I did before, but it's like, okay, now I look at like almost every lesson. But really, I got out of it is that there are multiple ways to get the kids to where they need to be. I just have to be open to understand the process, because it's different for all my classes. How the process is the same, but the outcome can be different based on going through all the steps that we've gone through.
Great. So other folks might be exploring this, and a district might be jumping into it, similar to what advice would you give to teachers? What would you give advice as a leader, as a teacher leader and being a leader in this? What advice would you give to any other district or organization that's wanting to take this journey?
I guess it's really just challenge them, right? Be open to be challenged, because if you take it personal, because a lot of teachers are very personal in what we do and our curriculum and things that we're very proud of what we do, but it's not saying that what we're doing is wrong. It's just saying, how can we do it to be more effective to the kids? So, just be open, be transparent with, what the expectations are. Because some people kind of step into these meetings and they're like, oh, well, this is, the same. We've been through PD days, 100 times and nothing's going to change, but it's only going to change as much as you're willing to put into it. So, really be open to the challenge, give feedback and just be transparent through the process of what is the outcome at the end that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much for your insight on it and your point of view. And we really appreciate it. And I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So again, thank you, Tim. And thank you for coming out.
Thank you.